Good morning. Welcome back. I'm so glad you're here. I was thinking about you this weekend while I was outside working in the yard, working on the chicken coop. Did you notice how warm it's getting? Did you notice that we don't need a coat anymore? Are you wearing short sleeves? Are you already breaking out the shorts and flip-flops? I know they're coming. It's coming soon. Spring is here. That means summer is next. So as I was working on the chicken coop and I saw a little pile of ants coming out of the earth and kind of moving all that soil, making their tunnel up to the top, I thought, yay, spring was here. And then I thought about the word ant. And then I thought about a couple of the books in my library. And so I thought it went along well with the big chicken story. Remember that big chicken story we read where you could have a chicken like a bird that lays eggs, or you could be a chicken, like be afraid of things that you don't really need to be afraid of sometimes. Well, then I started thinking about the word ant and how there's two kinds of ants. There's the ant that crawls on the ground, lives under the earth, and then there's the ant that is your mom or dad's sister, and she's a part of your family, and she's your aunt. So listen to the way they sound, because they sound the same, ant and ant, but they're not spelled the same way, and they look different. They definitely mean something different. So check out these two books I have for you. One is Truman's Ant Farm, and the other one is Hey Little Ant. We're going to start today with Truman's Ant Farm. Tomorrow I'm going to read Hey Little Ant, and I'm going to give you some ant extras and maybe a video or two. Hopefully some fun stuff for you to do. So look forward to this one tomorrow. We'll be talking about the bug, the insect kind of ant. That is spelled A-N-T. Today we're talking about ant that is related to you. Your mom's sister or your dad's sister is your aunt. This is Truman's Ant Farm. When you're talking about a person, you capitalize it, especially if it's the title in the story. Each word gets a capital letter. This is written by Joachim Radigan, illustrated by Brian G. Karras. Look at that illustration of the ants. Truman's Ant Farm. At 11 o'clock, a package arrived for Truman. It was a birthday present from Aunt Fran. Truman looked at the box. It was not moving. He gently picked it up. It felt empty. He turned it over. Then he smelled it. Presents from Aunt Fran had to be handled very carefully. Truman slowly opened the box. It was empty. No, there were two cards. The yellow one said, "Happy birthday, dear Truman. I'm giving you the ant farm you wanted. Love, your charming Aunt Fran." The green one said, "Mail this card right away to receive your free ants. Watch them work. Watch them play. Watch them eat. Live ants." So you can see in the story the word ant and the word ant, and look at what Truman's thinking. What kind of ants does he think he's getting? Truman mailed his card right away. Oh boy, live ants for his very own. But he didn't get ants. He got ants. Some people say it aunts, aunt. I didn't grow up like that. I grew up saying it ants. I don't know how you say it in your house. He got ants. It was true. There were ants everywhere. They all loved Truman. They made such a fuss. "My, how you've grown," said Aunt Lulu. "Isn't he handsome?" said Aunt Jody. "Looks just like me," said Aunt Ramona. And they hugged him and patted his head and pinched his cheeks and talked his ears off. "Dear charming Aunt Fran, thank you for the birthday present. I have 50-something ants at my house. More are arriving daily. What shall I do? Love, your bug-loving nephew, Truman. P.S. What should I feed the ants? Truman looked out his front window. A long line of ants was waiting to get in. They brought their knitting, homemade banana bread, and they gave Truman more than 100-something gift subscriptions to children's magazines. Help, yelled Truman. Letter for you, said the postman. My dear Truman, I'm glad you liked the present. Don't let those ants bug you. Do you have any friends who would like some ants? Love, your clever Aunt Fran. P.S. Feed the ants ant food. Since they were his ants, he wanted them to be good ants. What was the best ant food? Not coffee. The ants stayed up all night. Not alphabet soup. The ants talked too much. Certainly not chocolate. The ants kissed him all the time. So Truman fed them rice pudding for breakfast, jelly sandwiches for lunch, and little hot dogs for supper. Every morning the ants lined up for inspection. Truman walked up and down the ranks. He looked over each ant from head to toe. They were ready to go to work. Look at the daily schedule he made for them. They have tickle practice, headstands, roller skating, HUD relays, stories naps, tiptoeing. The ants got water and sun and fresh air. They blew bubbles, flew kites, found bird nests, and Amy could do backflips with her eyes closed. The ants were strong and happy. They were charming and clever. They slept, played, sang, danced, and talked just enough. Dear clever Aunt Fran, I have around 200-something ants now. I love them all. More ants keep coming and coming. They are the best in the world. Love, your ant-loving nephew, Truman. Do you have enough room at your house for 200-and-something ants? I know I don't. I don't have that much room at my house. That would be a problem. Yes, they were good ants, but they weren't really his ants, and he was running out of room. Could he give them away? Who might want them? Truman put up a sign, Truman's Ant Farm. Live ants, watch them work, watch them play, watch them eat, free to good homes. Truman looked out his front window. A long, long line of boys and girls was waiting to get in. I want a funny ant, said one girl, who knows jokes and stories. I want my aunt to do cartwheels, said the little boy, and not cry if she falls down and gets dirty. Make mine lumpy and soft, a good cuddler, said another boy. Truman let all the boys and girls in. They looked over the ants from head to toe. They watched the ants work and play. They watched the ants eat. The ants could tickle, tell stories, do headstands, roller skate. When the children talked, the ants really listened. They didn't pat heads, they didn't pinch cheeks or talk ears off, but they still hugged. Soon each child found just the right ant. Goodbye, dear Truman, called the ants. Thanks for a tip-top time. Truman was sad to see the ants go. He watched them tiptoe away. He was glad those boys and girls got their own ants, but something was missing. At 11 o'clock the next day, another package arrived. Truman looked at the box. It was moving. He tried to pick it up. It was too heavy. He smelled it. It smelled like roses. Carefully, he opened the lid. Who do you think it is? What do you think it is? Smells like roses. Out jumped Aunt Fran. Surprise! She gave Truman a big hug. But where are your aunts? She said. I wanted to see them. Oh, Aunt Fran, the aunts are gone. They have their own nieces and nephews now. Aunt Fran put her arm around Truman. He saw the twinkle in her eye. You did a wonderful thing, said Aunt Fran. Let's celebrate your birthday. Truman and his very own Aunt Fran shared a special day. They had rice pudding for breakfast, jelly sandwiches for lunch, and little hot dogs for supper. They even had a tickle contest, but they were too full to do headstands. Do you like that one? All right. I will see you tomorrow for some real ant facts. Here's your fiction story. It's fake. Tomorrow's nonfiction. Kind of. See you tomorrow. Have a good day. Get outside. Go read somewhere new.